What's up, YouTube? Capital G here. Making sure my microphone was on. Alright, so we've got some DN Duel commentary. I hadn't done any in a couple of days, and then I got some subscribers who were like, yo, where's the DN Duel commentary? We like it. So, I mean, I don't know. The ratings on my DN Duel commentary are never as high, but I see that there's obviously a market for it. So, you know, I mean, I've got kind of like a niche market for it. Alright, so we've got Felipe Lightsworns, 1585 versus Mickey to the D, 1818. If I just had to guess, I would probably say Mickey to the D is probably one of the highest rated players on all of Dueling Network. When you talk about 1800s, I mean, I'm pretty sure he's top 5, top 3 at some point. I think he topped a YCS recently or something like that. Alright, so you see that Felipe was able to resolve that, Lord, I was going to say Temperance, but I feel like that's Justice. Yeah, Justice. He was able to resolve the Justice. And you see that Mickey does another search for Una. And this is his second time summoning Deneb. And he dumps Vega. To me, I guess that means, I mean, I'm going to read that as he has Alpha Nova. That just, you know, I mean, I guess he could have just went for Altair and attacked. But, I mean, I guess he might not have Alpha Nova. But, as Felipe has already burned one Wisdom, you think maybe he might not have another one? But it looks like he's going to try and summon Priestess. And he activates Priestess's effect, targeting Una. And Una dies. Wow, no response there. And you see now he's going to activate Eternity, almost certainly to get Wisdom so that he can simply attack. And this is pretty strange because in this matchup specifically, I'll take I'll take S Knights like 7 out of 10 times. I feel like Prophecy is super solid of a deck right now. Maybe that's part of the reason why the prices have gone up for Grand Tower. In fact, it was only one of 4 decks that topped ARG Atlantic City. Cause, you know, the big 3, they took a lot of spots. Bujin took 1 spot. Well, 5 decks, excuse me. The big 3, the new decks from Duelist Alliance, they took spots. And then obviously, Prophecy and Bujin also topped. But I just feel like one of the problems with Prophecy is, I feel like if Prophecy, if you kind of just bum rush them, they can lose because they only play like 9 monsters and they don't leave Justice on the field. The only monsters they leave on the field are, and you see a blind MST. So I guess he's not worried about the Spellbook Tower at all, I guess. Anyways, back to my point. There's Altair. You see Solemn Warning used on Altair and it didn't hit the field. Okay, Wiretap. That works just as well as Alpha Nova. Even better in this situation because you get the life points. Felipe might want to watch out. He could potentially get KO'd here. You see a Fiendish Chain when the monster actually, oh my goodness, double wiretap. Man, we tapping. Now, if he happened to have like an Honest or something, he could KO him. You know, I guess that he didn't have another monster in hand. Otherwise, he just probably would have went Deltaros. Let me just count cards right quick to see if he'll go Exciton Knight. Well, he's got 3 and his opponent has 2, 4. So yeah, I would Exciton Knight the field because it gets rid of this. It gets rid of this obviously, and then you can just attack the whatever monster they bring out. So anyways, I feel like Prophecy only keeps 2 monsters. Oh, he goes for 101, but he doesn't get rid of the Spellbook Tower though. Okay, he knows more than me, I guess. I just felt like maybe E-Knight would have been the best. He couldn't do any damage that turn anyway, but I guess he feels like E-Knight can live, and he won't be doing any special summoning, although he has that MST. Priestess probably not going to be used. Is it me, or did he totally not activate Tower? Oh, that's why. Oh, he doesn't have he doesn't have a spellcaster. He doesn't have a spellcaster, that's why. He doesn't have a spellcaster in his graveyard. This chick got banished, and then he controls this, so... yeah, I guess he couldn't activate Tower, and he figured, okay, well, whatever. You'll have to fate my 101, and then I can just go Altair without having to worry about anything. But let me make my point. because I've been trying to make it for like the last 10 seconds or whatever. This must be game 2 if he's playing Kaiku or something like that. Guess he's going to attack and then maybe put it face down. Looks like he's just going to banish it entirely. 1, 2, 3. Uh-oh. If he's using Kaiku, that could potentially mess up Mickey to the D's play, because it could take out those Denebs. Well, I think it only has 1 in there. But, yeah, generally speaking, Prophecy only keeps, like, there's 2 monsters in the deck that they actually leave on board. High Priestess and Spellbook, little, Spell Boy. And Blue Boy only has 500 attack, so it's just about anything can run his ass over. You can't use power during your opponent's turn, so just about everything gets over his ass. And you see that a breakthrough skill is played so that he'll keep his graveyard, obviously. And looks like he's just going to go Deneb off the Altair. And I feel like, High Priestess, she's cool, but, she has to summon herself with her inherent effect. It's not like you ever really see anybody tribute summon for her. So Prophecy, a lot of times, if they just have Magician on board and you can bum rush through a Fate, as this deck does, because it has Altair and Vega where you can just special. You know what I mean? I feel like you can easily get through their monsters. So you see he goes with Castle. Oh, okay. Spinning the Grand Tower to the deck. Obviously he knows that he doesn't have to worry about attacking over Kaiku because he has a higher attack, or he doesn't have to worry about Kaiku attacking over it. And that sucks if you're Felipe, because you didn't get any value out of that Grand Tower. Basically, it sat there for 2 turns and it didn't resolve once. And that, you rarely ever, I can't think of a time that I've ever seen that happen, where Tower was literally on the field for 2 full turns and it just could not activate. Maybe if like Macro's up, but I've never seen that. Alright, so Mickey searches out a Vega, and those Call of the Haunted plays are brutal. I feel like, this deck, I feel like S-Knights, they can just put mid-sized beaters on the field and they can kind of outpace Prophecy. Like, you only got 1 Fate, and I mean, a lot of Prophecy players are starting to play like Phoenix Chain at 3. I think they obviously lean towards Phoenix Chain and not Breakthrough Skill, because Phoenix Chain stops attacks and everything runs over Blue Boy, so it wouldn't make any sense for them to use Blue Boy, or for them to use Breakthrough Skill. And you see the MST obviously taking out Altair, so he can't kill him. Unless he just goes for Cowboy. It just depends, does he want to risk it? I mean, I would. I would definitely risk it. Because if I Cowboy, well, no, excuse me, he can't Cowboy him. He has 1,000 life points. I thought his life points were lower. I guess you just pass. I mean, you might be able to put your opponent on a Reckless Greed, giving them 3 cards. Believe me, Prophecy can actually do a ton with a Reckless Greed, but I don't know. I kind of feel like he would need to, I don't know. Usually it revolves around Tower because, okay, that was game 2. Usually it revolves around Tower, basically giving you the draw phases back that Reckless Greed took, but if he didn't have any monsters, I just don't see that happening. Now, we're going to game 3. Again, I always give S-Knights the advantage in this match because I feel like even though their beaters aren't that impressive, they're more than enough to get over Blue Boy. And High Priestess is not a card that they can summon nearly as easy as Blue Boy. You see that Kaiku was sided in, which it does help. It gives them a monster that they can just summon and, not have to worry about getting ran over by S-Knights or Evil Swarms or pretty much any deck, Mermill. But I don't know. I don't know if Kaiku is that great in this format. I mean, he's cool against decks that run Chaos, I guess, because, people run Chaos Sorcerer and BLS, so there's that, but, I don't know. I mean, against S-Knights, I guess you're just fishing to get his effect off and potentially remove Deneb. Mickey to the D is going second. If I was Mickey, as long as I sided in MSTs, I'd feel good against Prophecy going second. I mean, they're probably going to get the Fate turn 1 anyway. You should already know that. Like, when I play Prophecy and I go second, I expect to get Fated. That's just inevitable. You just have to be able to push through the Fate. Generally, I feel like if you can get rid of the Tower, you're in good shape. And you're definitely going to have to get rid of it because Felipe just searched it. Yeah, I feel like Prophecy, I feel like they're really good if you give them time. Like against a deck like Evil Swarm, they have a really good matchup. Probably against Shadows too. I like their Shadow matchup, mainly because Shadow set cards, which means if you're setting a monster, you're not putting offensive pressure on me. So you're basically giving me even more time to fate you. Or, yeah, basically. You see that he sets 3 cards, which I guess this is like a half brick, to be honest. D-Prison, Wiretap, and D-Prison. That Wiretap's looking really good with 3 back row. And Mickey to the D takes that Wiretap. I don't like D-Prison against Prophecy. A lot of times, if they, I mean, you're not going to get much value out of it hitting Blue Boy with it. I would think that, I don't think he shuffled his deck. Yeah, I don't think that, I don't believe Mickey to the D shuffled his deck. I think he's going to draw double D-Prison. Alright, there's that Blue Boy. Breakthrough skills played. And looks like it's going to resolve. Okay. Spellbook of the Master. Showing that Grand Tower. I guess he's going to copy the library. If I was him, I'd probably go Secrets, Fate. Secrets, Fate. What am I missing? Secrets, Fate. I can't think of a good, well, Wisdom. There you go. Wisdom. Secrets, Fate, Wisdom. There you go. Alright, so I'm not sure what 3 he's picking for Master. But he only has 1 card that he can copy. Secrets, Fate, Wisdom. Okay, I guess he was thinking like I'm thinking. Because you can't, I mean, you wouldn't get Tower. You already got Tower. And you wouldn't get Life. You don't have anything in your graveyard. Now, oddly enough, if he ends up deprisoning that Blue Boy, that could be bad for that Tower. But I mean, if he gets, I would imagine he might get a Wisdom though, so who knows. If not, I guess he could fade his guy back. He could fade it back to face down position. Well, looks like he's getting that Wisdom anyway, so you don't have to worry about that. Huge advantage to Felipe right now. Looks like Mickey didn't draw a monster. A monster would have been, any monster would have been huge. Well, obviously Deneb would have been huge. Because if Deneb gets faded, you already have a monster that replaced it. I'm telling you, Mickey to the D just drew D-Prison. Because he totally did not shuffle. Oh, I guess he did shuffle. My bad, my bad. Alright, so he goes for Pot of Duality, obviously hitting Deneb. Felipe can't, well, you see that he goes Fiendish Chain. Mickey can obviously wiretap him, but he might want to think about doing something different. Because you'd think if your opponent used Fiendish Chain, maybe they have a backup plan to it. Like another Fiendish Chain or something like that. This is why MST and maybe even Twister, I'm not crazy about Twister to be honest. I always prefer to use Fairy Wind. But that's why those cards are so good. And he goes for the wiretap, knowing he's not going to get, it's not like you get a ton of value out of wiretap against this deck anyway. Obviously searching out Altier. And his attack's going to go through because, well, we know that he doesn't have Fate. He could still Mirror Force him or something. Ooh, D-Prison, clutch. So, you see Mickey to the D sets 2 more cards. Looks like he's going to try and activate Tower, and he has that MST. I just feel like, Prophecy loses so much of their oomph when they don't resolve Tower. I feel like literally, I hate to say this because you guys are going to kill me. I feel like Prophecy literally drops an entire tier when they can't resolve Tower. Like, I feel it is that important. You see the bottomless trap hole on the Thunder King Ryo, which is good because that card literally could have just, like, killed him. I mean, you're talking about no secrets or any, yeah, that's a rib. Another breakthrough skill. I think that I would, okay, well, yeah, he has the Wisdom. I think that I would definitely consider Xing here. Now, I would imagine he's going to go Secrets and then go for Grand Tower. That seems to make the most sense. I wonder what Mickey to the D's face down is. But yeah, I feel like if they don't get Tower and they don't get it rolling, man, I feel like the deck just drops a tier. Because, I mean, you can't, in good conscience, expect your deck to protect itself when you have this as your board. Like, Fate's cool and everything, but Fate only stops one attack. If you have these two guys as your board, you ain't doing nothing. And you see the end phase MST on the Fates, which means, oh, Felipe only has one card to protect him. Altair comes down. Altair is house money right now. He doesn't go +1, but, well, technically it did go +1 because he burnt Fiendish Chain on it. Although we could still see Felipe use an Xyz here to try and actually kill it, because he can't kill it in battle right now, not even with a power. He doesn't have Fate available. He obviously cannot summon High Priestess, so that's not he can't use Crescent. Looks like he's going to Xyz. Xyzing against 2 back row with against S Knights, it's a little dangerous. You see he goes for Ghost Trick Succubus, I believe that's her. Yeah, Ghost Trick, So Cute Bus. What? So Cute Bus. I totally thought her name was Succubus. It's So Cute Bus. Wow, I need to read more. Alright. So he just did that, I guess, so that he could go into Downward Magician. Could be a bottomless. There is no bottomless. And he just gave Mickey a free release on an Xyz. He better really, really hope he didn't top deck a Rhoda. That'd be the nuts. Alright, so he is going to Xyz. Felipe is going to lose his monster regardless. She is 27 attack, I guess. And I'd be inclined to go 101 just because he's going to get the materials to the graveyard anyway. I might as well get some protection. If not 101, Starliege, Paradynamo, those would be my 2 choices. You know what? Man, I honestly think I might take Starliege over 101. Just because Starliege, if my monster dies, through conventional means, I still get a draw. With 101, yeah, it protects itself from that conventional destruction, the Dark Hole that I'm talking about, the Torrential Tribute. But it's like, I think in this situation, rather than having the monster on field, I think I'd rather take that draw and a combo-oriented deck. Because if you're making to the D and you get to Deneb right now, it's a blowout. You're just going to win because you've already got your graveyard stacked. He goes for the 101. Still a very good choice. Still a very good choice. And he gets not only Downward Magician, he gets 2100 and he gets protection from destruction. This is a bad look for Felipe. It's looking like he could be bricking. You see Una come down. I don't even know if he's going to activate Una's effect, honestly. Unless it's just to get Deneb in there. You know, sometimes I don't think that activating Unu's effect for Deneb is a good thing if you don't have Call of the Haunted set. If you have Call of the Haunted set, obviously. But if not, I mean, you kind of, what's it called? You kind of, kill any chances of you drawing those Denebs. You know what I mean? I guess you could draw the Rhoda, but he has 1 Deneb banished and 1 in his graveyard, so the odds of him drawing them are not very good. Now, Felipe sets a monster, which you never see in Prophecy, so I wonder what that could be. Oh my god, he top decked Deneb. I'm just going to shut up. I'm not talking anymore. And you see that he set Priestess, which obviously means that that was the end of the road. I mean, literally, I just went on a soliloquy about how he possibly could not top deck Deneb, and he killed his chances, and then he top decks Deneb. Like, shut up, Capital G. Thank you guys for watching, as always.